September 4th, City Council meeting. Call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation by Councilman Byrd. I have a motion to approve the minutes. Is anybody else listening? Thank you. All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. We have no special presentations this evening, so Madam Clerk, let's jump right in. Ordinances, final read, 5A, please.
An ordinance to amend the Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, so as to rezone property located at 4393 Benton Drive, more particularly described herein from R4 Special Zone to C5 Neighborhood Commercial Zone, subject to certain conditions.
Councilwoman Burrs. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. Let's move down to first reads. 6A, please.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Chapter 26, Article 3, Sections 2656, 2657, and 2658 relating to Miller Park.
Councilman Oglesby, did I see your light, sir?
You did, Mr. Chair, and I move to approve. Second.
All right. I've got a motion and a second. No further comment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you. B, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located at 5565 Cassandra Smith as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Henderson, followed by Councilman Mitchell.
Mr. Chairman, this is in your district. I move approval.
Thank you, sirs. Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Thank you, gentlemen. C, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located at 5424 Cassandra Smith as detailed on the attached map, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Mitchell.
Move approval. Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Both. All right. Take us to Resolution 7A, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with the Helen Ross McNabb Center in substantially the form attached for 120 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptain Road, identified as tax parcel number 157MA012 for a term of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional term of 2 years and the amount of $2,640 per term.
Councilwoman Burrs, these are all in your district, and I believe every one of these is just an extension of our current partners over at the Family Justice Center, and we're just extending 2 years in their contract. Would you be fine, ma'am, if we handled all of these all at once as one?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, that's what I was going to suggest. If she could read all of these.
That'd be great.
And then I'm going to move to approve.
Very good.
Thank
Madam
you.
Clerk, let's just go ahead and go through B through F all together, please.
7B, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Legal Aid of East Tennessee in substantially the form attached for 454 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptain Road, identified as tax parcel number 157MA012 for a term of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional term of 2 years and the amount of $9,988 per term. 7C, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Partnership for Families, Children, and Adults Incorporated in substantially the form attached for 107 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptain Road, identified as tax parcel number 157MA012 for a term of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional term of 2 years in the amount of $2,354 per term. 7D, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Prevent Child Abuse Tennessee in substantially the form attached for 311 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptain Road, identified as tax parcel number 157MA012 for a term of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional term of 2 years in the amount of $6,842 per term. 7E, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Second Life of Chattanooga, Inc. in substantially the form attached for 108 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptain Road, identified as tax parcel number 157MA012 for a term of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional term of 2 years in the amount of $2,376 per term. 7F, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Southern Adventist University in substantially the form attached for 785 square feet of office space in a portion of the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptain Road, identified as tax parcel number 157MA012 for a term of 2 years with the option to renew for an additional term of 2 years in the amount of $17,270 per term.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval, sir.
All right, I've got a motion and a second to approve A through F. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Great, thank you. Madam Clerk, if you've taken a breath, we'll move on to G.
A resolution authorizing the approval of change order number 1 for Progressive Maritime Services LLC of Hickson, Tennessee, contract number R16008-201, Ross's Landing Water Cannon Pump Reinstallation for an increase in the amount of $30,000 for revised contract amount not to exceed $50,500.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. H, please.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement for grant administration services with Southeast Tennessee Development District for technical and professional administrative services for 5 city projects financed through Clean Water State Revolving Loan Fund for a total project cost not to exceed $41,500.
Councilman Mitchell.
Move approval.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, notice one abstention. Aye, please.
A resolution authorizing the Chattanooga Area Regional Transportation Authority, CARTA, to apply for a congestion mitigation and air quality improvement, CMAQ, grant from the Tennessee Department of Transportation for expansion of CARTA's electric bus fleet with the city's portion not to exceed $650,000 for an amount not to exceed $3,250,000.
Council Ledford. I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you. That finishes the items on our agenda this evening, so we move on to purchases. Ms. Woodard?
Good evening.
Good evening.
For your consideration tonight, first we have on behalf of Public Works, blanket contract renewals for electric motor and pump service to be awarded to Techwell Services LLC and Chattanooga Industrial Motors, Inc., an estimated annual amount of $400,000. Next, we have a blanket contract renewal for roof inspection and repair services to be awarded to JDH Company, Inc., an estimated annual amount of $100,000. Next, a blanket contract renewal for locating and marking services for underground utilities to be awarded to USIC Locating Services, LLC, an estimated annual amount of $800,000. Next, 2 blanket contract renewals for generator maintenance and repair services to be awarded to First Energy Systems Southeast LLC and Second Stowers Machinery Corporation in an estimated annual amount of $160,000. Next, a blanket contract renewal for emulsion polymer to be awarded to BASF Corporation in an estimated annual amount of $1 million. Next, a blanket contract renewal for Hayworth Open Office Landscape Furniture to be awarded to NOI Chattanooga in an estimated annual amount of $250,000. And finally, on behalf of the Information Technology Department, we have a blanket contract renewal for Stay Mobile Venture LLC for Lenovo Certified Repair Service to be awarded to Stay Mobile Venture LLC, an estimated annual amount of $75,000.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Are there any questions? I see none, so I will entertain a motion. All right, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Other business. Is there any other business the council would like to discuss this evening? All right, see none for this evening. Let's move on to committee reports. Councilwoman Burrs. Councilman Byrd. Councilwoman Coonrod. Ma'am, when is our next YFD meeting? Is that committee meeting? Is that next week? Perfect. Thank you. Councilman Henderson. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Planning and Zoning Committee did meet today where we heard a presentation on ADUs, which is accessory dwelling units, and covered all items on our agenda. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did have a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting today, and we will have another one in 2 weeks after agenda session.
Sounds good. Councilman Oglesby.
No report.
Thank you, sir. All right, that wraps that up and takes us to the point on our agenda of recognition of persons wishing to address the council on non-agenda items. Is there anybody in the audience tonight that would like to address the council? All right, Mr. Attorney.
Yes, please. Anybody coming to speak this evening on a non-agenda item can only be spoken to the council here at the microphone. Please use that. Talk to the council about something in their legislative or quasi-judicial authority. Limit your remarks to 5 minutes unless additional permission is given for more time. Don't use vulgar, obscene language, and please don't personally attack or personally denigrate other people here in this meeting. And you can only speak, can't speak more than twice in a 30-day time period. So I think you're all right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Mary Mae Williamson, and I live at 813 East 10th Street in the M.L. King neighborhood, where I've lived for 14 years and have worked on our board of directors for over a decade. I'm here tonight representing my entire neighborhood. The Transition House, which is located at the corner of M.L. King Boulevard and Central Avenue, has requested a special permit and will be appearing before the Board of Zoning Appeals in the morning to make their case for expanding their services to include housing for 50 individuals, which will come from contracts with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Erlanger, mental health facilities, and homeless service providers. Casting such a wide net with no restrictions or controls in place will most certainly bring into our neighborhood violent offenders, sex offenders, juvenile offenders, and those convicted of manufacturing and distributing drugs. The very individuals we have fought so hard to weed out of our neighborhood. We are no different than you, in that each one of us wants to go home to a place that is safe and secure, free from those who present a direct threat to us and our property. With thousands of volunteer hours, countless government agency resources, and millions of dollars already invested in the MLK neighborhood, tomorrow's vote could reverse everything we, along with our community of partners, have accomplished to create a safe and secure neighborhood. Please give the M.L. King Neighborhood Association a chance to maintain our healthy balance of residential, business, and social services by asking your district representative on the Board of Zoning Appeals to deny this special permit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to address the council this evening?
Of course, I can't miss out on the opportunity to address the council as always. Good evening, council. My name is, well, you already know what it is because you see me quite often. Marie Mott from Oak Grove. I'm coming before you again today because we continue to have problems at the hands of the Chattanooga Police Department. I continue to get pushback on my questions about $26 million that has not been collected in the form of taxes from pilots in the fiscal year of 2017. We've had several instances this week. First, beginning with the Chattanooga Police Department, where we had 2 additional women that stepped forward in the case and the allegations of rape. Did you know that? Where are you on these issues? You got to follow up. It cannot be a one-time thing. If you did not know, now you know. What are your questions? What do you know? And why is the public not having any accountability. All we're told is that the investigation is ongoing, but we have no assurance of anything that is really working towards the benefit of the safety, which is what the Chattanooga Police Department is responsible for the people. We had a man commit suicide. Wow, the people of Chattanooga are so oppressed where they feel that there is no way out for them except by taking their own life. And according to the Chattanooga Police Department, not only did the man commit suicide, but the officer that then shot him accidentally shot him 3 times. But then we find out when he releases a statement through his own personal attorney that that was not the case, that he shot him intentionally. I continue to ask the council, where are you? Why is it that I never hear anybody standing up for what we see? We cannot turn a blind eye to what's going on. I continue to submit to you that just because you are here, you're not here just because somebody voted you in and people believe in you. You're here representing people who didn't vote for you. You're here part of a body that represents the entire city of Chattanooga. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than your district. It's about the city as a whole, is it not? Let me read something to you, because I'm encouraged despite what I see going on. Romans, because I'm going to take you to the word. Romans chapter 12. It says that, I urge you, brothers and sisters, by the mercy of God, to exalt your bodies as a living sacrifice, pleasing and holy, which is your proper worship. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, which is also in Christ Jesus, to prove what is acceptable and the perfect will of God. And then we see, if we look later, the Apostle Paul, when he writes to the church in Corinth in the second chapter, the second book, the 4th chapter, we see where he explicitly says that even though we are constricted and pressed on every side, we are not crushed. Even though that we are in despair, we are not destroyed. I am hopeful, and I still try my best, even though I get kicked out of City Hall, even though I don't get any answers to my questions, even though people talk about me, even though people push back with me on social media, even though I don't see these same people going and offering the people who have been brutalized at the hands of the Chattanooga Police Department any reassurance in person. We'll not go down to the Chattanooga Police Department with them to help them fill out any complaints, but we'll rather ask the citizens and the people to do more than the people who were elected. What a disgrace it is that you expect the people who voted for you to do more than you, to know more than you, and then to be satisfied with saying, well, I guess you know everything that you possibly could know. What do I need to do for you now? What peace should I have with this council? What peace and assurance as a 30-year-old African-American young lady with a bright, vibrant future that none of you can stop? What am I supposed to believe? Am I supposed to believe that city council is a democracy, which Thomas Jefferson said is a mob rule? Or am I to believe that this is a constitutional republic, which offers me individual rights and liberties that shall never be infringed upon? Which is it? Do we live in a democracy or do we live in a republic? Do we respect people and the Constitution, or are we just going to allow people to continuously roll over it? You guys are going to be up for re-election in 2 years, and some of you, I'm sure, want to run for mayor. If you're not going to do anything now, do you expect the people to trust you later? We will not forget what is happening. And we are taking into record as God, because he sees each and every one of you. He's got the record, and you better believe that your time is coming, and you're going to have to answer.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council this evening?
I'm Jesse Parker, and I live at 5508 Miller Drive, Chattanooga. On Wednesday morning, about 2 a.m., my grandson woke me up, said that someone needed to talk with me. And I heard a very loud voice, I didn't know who it was. And as I approached the door, a policeman had a gun on me and told me to come outside. And so I said, what's going on? He said he couldn't tell me, but there was an ongoing investigation. He had a gun on me and told me there's an insurance company next door. So he told me to stand over there and be quiet. So he goes back up to the door. I have a daughter and 6 children there. The gun's on them as they come out the house. And he said that I had a man in the house. They showed me the picture. I said, I don't know this guy. But I told him my son-in-law lives there. He's slim and he's tall. The picture they showed me, this is not the person. There was about 12 or more police cars, policemen in my yard, surrounding my house with guns pointed at us. And one of my granddaughters has been in the hospital twice. They were outside with no shoes on and the night clothes. And I told the policeman, I said, she needs to be inside. She's been sick. You guys need to stand over there and be quiet. We were threatened and terrorized. I'm a school teacher. I've been in Hamilton County Schools for 14 years. I'm a pastor in Macedonia, 5 baptized home, the Church of God of the Americas. I teach my students to respect the law. And last year I was at the East Lake Academy. And you know how those students are. I have 50% black, 50% Hispanic. They don't respect the law. I was raised to respect the law, and I still do. What am I going to tell my students now? I was really disappointed. I was shocked. And the lady next door said, Parker, if you was white, this would not have happened to you. And I was shocked. And when they did find my son-in-law, he was in the backyard. He works till 11 o'clock at night. He's from Florida. We're not from here. They handcuffed him. And I told him, I said, that is not the guy. They were so sure that the person they were looking for was in my house. So they found out that the person they were looking for was not there. They took the handcuffs off. When we finally went inside, because I told them to go inside earlier, I said, go inside, check for yourself. I'm not a liar. I help people. But the people I help, I teach a transformation class on Monday night. They are people, DUI, they're on meth, all these situations. They have to report to the court. They're drug tested, but no one comes to my house. They don't know where I live. But I'm a minister. I'm concerned about the souls of men and women. I help anybody, no matter whether you're black or white. But that was wrong, and I was extremely surprised because I love people and I support the police force. And I tell my students in school, if something happens, call the police. But look at this now. It should not have happened. And the police came inside my house after all was over. Before early, I said, why don't you go and look at my house? No, if I do, everything will be broken up. Because they were so sure someone would be in my house. And I said, I am a man of God. I'm no better than anybody else. Things happen. But where's your gun? I don't have a gun. I don't use one. I'm nonviolent. If someone pulls a gun on me, if God don't take care of me, I'll just be dead. I don't have a weapon. So after all of that, we went inside, and the policeman said, we apologize. We was wrong. You know we have a job to do. And I told him, I said, I'm not biased, but if I was white, you would not have had a gun pointed at my grandchildren going out that door. And the neighbor said, Parker, this has never happened in this neighborhood. We're right next to Eastgate Town Center. But it did. I just wanted people to be aware. And I don't want this to happen to anyone else in Chattanooga. It doesn't matter whether you're black or white. Bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Councilwoman Bursch, your light was on.
Miller?
Parker.
I want to be able
To the mic.
to the mic.
Mr. Parker, if you wouldn't just come back up to the mic. Thank you, sir.
Now that I hear where that happened, Miller Drive is in my district, and this is the first that I've heard of this. Have you done anything further about this? Have you talked with the police department? Have you spoken with Internal Affairs? Have you spoken with the chief about this?
I have a police report, and I was on the news Sunday night, Monday morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And I was late getting here because Channel 3 and Channel 9 was at my house, and I told them I had to leave because I wanted to be here to address the city council.
And have you heard anything in response yet?
I have made some requests for documents, and I will be in touch with them. So far, I received no response from them.
Okay. You know, the police department here has worked very hard for that not to happen and is working very hard for that not to happen.
Yes.
And I think you do deserve an explanation, and I feel very certain, particularly now that I know about all this, that you'll get one forthcoming.
All right.
I've seen where some people may disagree, I've seen the police behave, especially under this administration, this chief, very even-handedly. And so I'm going to apologize to you right here because I have responsibility along with the rest of my colleagues that something like this could happen to you.
Yes.
And I feel like you deserve a complete explanation of what happened. I'm particularly concerned about the children and the fact we talk about ACEs, and that's one.
Yes.
And that's very, very unfortunate. So I will also be asking for an explanation. Thank you very much for bringing this to our attention, and this is the first I've heard of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Councilman Byrd?
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Parks, you might can walk back over there, but it's just, I'm so sorry, sir. One of the things that we do want to hear from constituents and see what's going on. So definitely sorry that your family had to endure such a crazy situation.
Yes.
Do you know the guy, or do you know the crime that the guy committed that they was looking for?
They did not. They said they could not tell me, but they just showed me a picture. And the sad part about it is about 6 years ago, the same thing happened to me. I lived on Vance Road off of the highway, and I was in bed, and I saw some flashlights shining in my windows. I got up and went to the door. A policeman had surrounded my house, and they told me to open the door. They had no police report, a warrant. They came in, they opened every cabinet, closet, and my garage. And I told them, I said, I'm the only one here. I told them to sit down. They came back. I said, the guy you're looking for is next door. They left. Didn't apologize or anything. But in that area, sometimes we had people that would come up the road from Shepherd Community, kind of rough. But they knew me because I told them if anything happened, I would call 698-2525.
There you go.
I respect the law.
And I just wanted to explain that just a couple of months ago,
Yes.
The house that I live in, that I own, I rented it out to a young lady, and her son had warrants out for his arrest. One of them was for murder, and one for like aggravated robbery. And I was woke up to police surrounding my house, beating on my door, and they had guns, big guns drawn. And when I opened the door, I was like, can I help you? And they was asking me who I was and was I the young man that they're looking for. I was like, no, sir, I'm not. My name is Anthony Byrd, and I have committed any crime. I don't know who you're looking for. They asked me to come out the house, and they wanted to search and wanted to look for this young man. And so we do have to do a better check. And I explained to the chief on people changing addresses too, because sometimes people move. And if they move, they should know or have some type of intel on that this person doesn't live there anymore, because my little girl was there as well. And it was very shocking and scary to her to have to deal with that. And they did apologize after they left, but I will be in touch with the chief too to see if it's some type of system we can do to make sure that our intel is correct before we go to a house and disrupt the family, because no one should have to wake up to or have to deal with something like that, knowing that you're innocent and haven't committed a crime. So once again, we do apologize, and we will be looking into it. Thank you, sir.
No, they did not. They didn't have one.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker. Is there anyone else who would like to address? All right.
Good afternoon. Rick Carpenter, Concord Road, 1548 Concord Road. This mic is just cooking tonight. Lots of complaints. I'm still waiting for some information regarding a complaint that I filed about a fish kill. Anthony, do you live in your district still? You just now said that you'd moved out of your house, and I was just curious, do you still live in your district?
Yes.
For the record, okay. Well, you and I have been pretty close about this fish kill and getting that information about the testing of the water out there at Memphis Street.
Yes.
And I haven't found anything. I mean, I understand that weather's, pulls voodoo and all kinds of crazy hexes, but boy, that sure looked like chemical that I found out there. That looked like a chemical kill. And I'm still kind of wondering, where are the tests? Because I was promised that TDOT had taken some. I mean, not TDOT, but TDEC. Had to think for a second there, I caught myself. And we haven't seen that. Nobody's presented that information back to us. So I'm kind of concerned because this is getting into our drinking water. And this drinking water can be contaminated very easily, and then we can all be contaminated. It's going to kill some fish. It's going to kill people, too. We've got signage on the river. It says it's marked, it's pretty hazardous stuff, pulls cancer on the fish. It's pulling cancer on everybody in Chattanooga. I mean, we have one of the leading cancer institutes in America, in Erlanger. And where's it all coming from? And, of course, we're dumping chemicals, by the looks of things, into the river. And nobody's saying anything. And I hate to expose the cover-up, but by golly, this sure stinks of a cover-up. Smells very fishy. Very fishy. I don't know how many of you went out there and saw how many fish were dead, but there were a lot of fish stinking the place up. And it should be concern for everybody here because we're all partaking in that same water system. And we need clean drinking water if Chattanooga is going to move forward. You can develop the hell out of this place. Sky rise, everything. But if you haven't got a drinking source, we don't have a drop of water to put in our glasses, how are you going to maintain the population? Now, you can have the CVB advertise the hell out of Chattanooga to the world and say, come here and look, go rafting. We have all these, Iron Stomach Awards or Iron Man contests where everybody swims in this water, but it's contaminated. And pretty soon, those people that are coming here will leave. You are creating a rotation population that's going to last maybe 4 years until they wise up, and then they're going to sell, and they're going to move the heck out because the water is contaminated. And we need those results. And people need to be held accountable for when they try to cover up and when they don't do their job and they don't get us those results. Everybody on that city council right there, every one of you should have been asking, where are the results? When somebody comes up here, shows you dead fish in the freaking water like that, you need to make sure that we, the people that elected you, are protected from any chemical contamination in our drinking water. Oh yes, Tennessee American Water, they're on the hook as well. Well, they're trying everything they can. We're up to 11 steps of treatment for our water system. That's what I've been told by Tennessee American Water Company. Treating water 11 steps to clean it up? Good, look, 12. Oh my God, that is filthy. You guys can't just let this slide. Get those results. Man, it's getting down near the end of the year. A few more months, it'll be a full year before anybody's asked any questions about what killed those fish, where are the results, how come it's taken this long to get to us. This is how come down the road, Chattanooga's not going to be the attraction that it's being marketed as, because the water is going to kill you. That's a pretty serious statement right there, and I hope it lays some weight with you. You haven't got me back the information. Get on it. I've heard these people out here talking about their houses getting raided. Get on it. Get that information back. It's nice that you apologize. Great. Everybody's happy that they apologized. Get that information. I'm still waiting for the fish kill information. What killed those fish? Where are the results from the testing of the water? Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the council this evening? I'll entertain a motion then.
Move with adjourn.
We are adjourned.